What is up, guys? What is up? How is everybody doing? Whoop, whoop, whoop. We are back. It is indeed Friday. We made it. Another week has gone by, and what a week it was. Jeez. Packed. Packed. Lots of quite an intense week for me. Lots and lots of piano playing, lots of meeting new people and playing piano and yeah, essentially being a little bit on the edge of my seat, if I'm completely honest. Hence, brand new setup. I finally managed to cover the back of this section of the room. It now looks like we're in like a little makeshift studio. What is up, Nate? How you doing, man? Akil, I'm sorry to hear you're ill, dude. You're sick. I hope you get better soon, and I hope get better soon, dude. Mike's driving. Jonas is here as well. Lovely to see all the friendly names in the chat. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Don't forget to give this stream a like. This obviously helps me with the algorithm and get more and more people involved in the stream. Welcome back, guys. It is Phil Plays Bass. Although Phil hasn't been playing bass a lot this week, which means this is a perfect opportunity to, again, continue my trying to get a proper consolidated practice routine that I can. This seems like it's going to be a bit of an endless quest, really. I mean, music is an endless pursuit. Thankfully, imagine if it had an end, I'd be pretty sad. You'd wake up one day, you'd practice a little bit, you'd be like, oh, okay, I've completed music. That'd be horrible. So thank God this is an open-ended thing. We're lucky we've got this particular kind of hobby, you know. The week went really well, Nate. Thank you. It was basically just getting to know the students that I've got. I have about 20 students at the moment, 20 somewhere between 25 and 20. They're all super motivated, and some of them, I was told they were all going to be beginners, and I was going to have a really easy time just, sort of not recycling. I wasn't planning on being lazy, just sort of coasting a little bit, being like, hey, yeah, guys, yeah, piano exercises, Hanan, do these exercises, do this, do that, and teaching a bit of like basic harmony. Turns out a few of them are more advanced. I've even got a 10-year-old boy who wants to do boogie woogie, so I'm gonna have to brush up on my boogie woogie licks, which is interesting, since I've done throughout the course of my life as a musician, I've done probably about 20 minutes of boogie woogie, but it'd be an interesting technique to start exploring with this guy. So it's basically just going to be a lot of customized teaching. I just, like I said, my goal is to sort of help them develop into better piano players, but because some of them are a bit more advanced, I'm gonna have to put a lot more effort rather than sort of the introductory things that you normally do on the piano. And I mean, we all know how long it takes to familiarize yourself with a brand new instrument, and in their case, it's they've got to be able to perform a couple of tunes, I think, at the end of the year. So if you've never played before, just 1 year into an instrument, that's a bit of a challenge, overcoming things like stage fright. Well, we don't really overcome it. You just do it, and usually you do it pretty badly. But then, as we know, the first time usually goes kind of somewhere between terrible and awesome, because the experience is always awesome. But we're never really happy with our very first performance. If you guys remember the very first time you were on stage, I'm sure everybody has a memory of that, and probably usually not your proudest moment happens there, but also one of the most formative experiences of your life. Everybody remembers their very, very first stage performance, and that's usually the start of something pretty cool. But I remember mine, and there's absolutely nothing to brag about. There would have been probably 5 people in the audience, mostly crew and parents. But hey, that's usually how these things go, right? So yeah, pretty good week. pretty good week. But I'll show you guys. I've got. I pulled out my dad used to play a little bit of keyboard, and he bought himself an actually like really decent keyboard 25 years ago. That was like top of the line Roland A90. Is that what it's called? Roland P90. Roland. Yeah, Roland A90. Expandable controller. Even the MIDI output is like this old like circular MIDI plug, and I don't think it really goes to USB at all. I think you need like to plug it into another interface that then goes to USB, maybe. But I'm just going to use it to practice with weighted keys. So yeah, who knows? Maybe at some point I get good enough that I'm comfortable actually playing keys on stream. Who knows? Maybe I'll do that. But for this time, guys, we're gonna stick with the bass. We're gonna stick with what we're familiar with. And I started showing you guys a couple of Hadrian Fraud warming up exercises that I really like, and I think are really complementary to some of the things that I was doing before. You will remember this. Checking that we're not peaking, checking that the bass is coming through. Should be all good. Okay, we don't need that for now. Lovely. How was your week, guys? How have you guys been doing? It's been a minute, and I must say, in all complete honesty, I've really missed streaming. So feels a little bit like coming home. So I'm very chuffed to be streaming today. I've got a family due tomorrow, so I won't be streaming, but 100% will be streaming on Sunday. Again, I really want to sort of adjust the streaming regime so that I maintain sort of 3 days a week minimum. And yeah, I wasn't really able because I had so much admin to do that I wasn't able to stream during the daytime. And at the same time, I'm still trying to work on the app. So bunch of things, but no rest for the blessed. No rest for the blessed. What? Is that what they say? No rest for the blessed. Yeah. So I'm blessed with lots of projects, lots of things that I'd like to get done over the course of this year, which means I don't have a lot of time to be idle, which is good. Idle hands are never up to any good. I'll put a little bit of fast fret on this because I thought I had some more strings lying about somewhere, like fresh strings, and unfortunately I don't. And I was hoping to give you guys a little bit of a sort of a check-in on the Nate on the stop drop rewind line that we've been working on for a while, and I've got it. It's starting to get close, and I'll show you at some point. Maybe I'll just do it now. But it's just this bass. Unfortunately, it's really it's the perfect bass to play this riff on, but the strings being really dull, it doesn't really come out sounding really good. So I'll give it a shot at some point, but maybe not straight away. Nate says, was able to take the dog to the bar. I had a gig at Wednesday. It was hilarious. Pets for Numbers was used. Pets for Numbers was used and was huge success. Pets for Numbers. So people have to pet the dog to make a request. Is that how this works? Kind of like the idea though. Non-stop ladies, may I pet your dog? Can I pet your dog? I bet you said no all the time. Ladies, who needs them? Kidding, ladies, kidding. Pets for Numbers. Love it. That's cool. Yeah, that gig looked good, dude. It's a proper stage and all that. How many of you on stage? There was like 5 people. Also, question: what was the guy at the back doing? Is he like a scratchy DJ type thing? He looked like he had a turntable. Drummer drunk. I've been drinking since 7 p.m. and you're a hard 5. Oh, jeez. Oh, it's a drum pad. Oh, cool. So you've got a drummer and a guy on the pad. Lady wasn't impressed. I bet she wasn't. It's not the kind of thing that they want to hear on a Wednesday night, or any night for that matter. So coming back to our little exercises, I've lost my timer. I've lost my timer. Where's my timer? Where's my timer? Shiver me timer. Localhost 3000 metronome. No, please timer. I'll start with a metronome. And then timer. Go to web. App is over here in the corner-ish. YouTube, there we go. Okay, cool. Don't look too much at the interface, guys. I've been working on it, but it's still, it's not good. I'm working on it. Do this exercise for 3 minutes. Yeah, sounds about right. Cool down duration. Again, I'm working on the I'm working on the interface, so there are bits that are literally under construction that don't really matter or do anything. Put it at a leisurely 60 BPM. Is that a bit too fast? Nah, it's pretty decent. All right, you guys are familiar with this exercise at this point. I'm gonna have to move this around a little bit, or just shrink it. Okay, put it there. He wasn't wrong though, says Nate. I mean, you know, confidence is nice in a lady from a guy's perspective. Confidence is nice from a lady's perspective in a guy, but delusion is not. That's for sure. All right. Or narcissism? Not sure. Or maybe it was just confidence, bravado. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's gonna be hard. Forgot to press start. Whoopsie. Let's go. Why am I going so high? I can tell I haven't been playing for a couple of days. Um, oh, that's funny. I can do it. I can do it on the way down. I can't do it on the way up. The click might have been a little bit too loud, actually. Apologies if it was. Michael, how are you? You're at the doctor's waiting room with your wife. I hope she's still. I hope the recovery is still on the up, Mike. And Mike, whilst I have you, real quick, thank you again very much for your contribution. I'd very much love if we could jump on a call at some point so I can thank you face to face, and we can have a little chat and a little catch up. So I'll message you on Discord, and we'll arrange something. All right. I hope you're well, Mike. Getting the arm back in action today. I hope your wife is, Mike. I hope the arm is feeling at 100% very, very soon. New phase, and eventually all of these little routines and phases will be recorded as a practice routine that you can go back to whenever you want to. That's the goal. Is you can have you can set up like a half-hour practice routine, 15-minute practice routine, a full hour, couple of hours, like this sort of stuff. You'd be in. I want the user to be in charge of crafting their practice routine. That'd be super cool, and that's my goal anyway. Not 3 minutes of this horrible exercise, but it's got to be done. It has got to be done. You guys will remember this is our number one least favorite exercise in the whole wide world, and it consists in keeping two of your fingers playing basically a minor third on the E and G of the A string and the D string, and then using the other two fingers to play this sort of pattern. So it's the B flat, C, and D flat, E flat, to a click. And we're going to try and do that for about 2 minutes. Let's go. I said 2 minutes. Why is he starting on the... Oh, he's starting from the beginning. Okay, we'll do 2 minutes of that regardless. Watch my face gradually turn into a wince. Holy moly, this hurts. Oh, okay, little break. Whew. Oh boy, this is painful. It's painful, but I'm so happy with the way my pinky finger is moving now. It's really I don't know if retracting is the correct way. Sort of, it's curling. It's curling in a way that I really like now. It's sort of snap. It's not snapping in and out of between the two states. You know, sort of stretched out, proper curled up. When I first started the exercise, it was like a little snap, and if you try it out, you'll probably experience the same thing. And there's no doubt that this has made me a lot stronger, and I'll demonstrate that as well with the next exercise. The second phase of this lovely, horribly painful exercise. Need to be able to switch between phases, but somehow I seem to have forgotten to implement that. So we'll start again. 2 minutes at 60 BPM. This needs to be put into the cookies as well, but I'm thinking out loud. I'm just thinking programming out loud. Okay, gonna mute the mic so you don't get the annoying string buzz, but this time I'll turn up the tone control on my bass so you can hear all of the little buzz in the strings when I'm not fretting correctly. Let's go. This time, the static fingers will not be the index finger and the ring finger. They will be the middle finger and the pinky finger, and the other two will do the same thing. Weirdly enough, that one is, I find, even harder. Let's go. glad that's behind us. Oh man, yeah, it's painful, this thing. Oh boy, do it once a day, and it'll keep the doctor away. Not the hand doctor. No, you're definitely going to need a hand doctor. This is carpal tunnel syndrome, 100%. This is not good for you. Unless, yeah, I should probably put a disclaimer every time I do this exercise. Be very careful with this exercise. Don't try and push through the pain like I'm doing. I don't want to be like, oh, it's because I'm advanced and because I'm this and this and that. But I do know that I've got enough of a strong structure, strong muscular integrity structure within my hand to sort of sustain this sort of stuff. That's just, I guess it's just a bit of a fair amount of experience that I can tell when the pain is going to stay or when it's starting to set in for like long-term pain. In this case, it's literally just a muscular burn and not some sort of pending inflammation or anything. So yeah, if you're going to do this exercise, do it really, really sparingly and with a good amount of pausing every 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Yeah, I would not recommend that for a beginner. And that's going to make all the beginners want to try to do it for 2 minutes. And I forgot to tune, but thankfully my little utility has got an actually pretty decent tuner built in now. And it says, I need to add visiting Andertons to my bucket list. Lee is just such a special human. Is that have Andertons posted some new cool videos? Mike says, I wish I was home with my bass. Oh, I hear you, Nate. I didn't visit any London bass shops when we were in the UK. I wouldn't mind seeing the Sweetwater retail store up in Indiana. I mean, guys, come on. You can't... I mean, I hear you, but gee, you guys are literally at the epicenter of instrument production. We've got some pretty decent, well, they've got some pretty decent brands in the UK for sure that can 100% come toe to toe with the American builds. But in terms of availability, my God, the US is where it's at, like, for sure. For sure. Oh, super cool. Lee just did a big thank you video. The YouTube channel just hit 1 million subscriber. Wow. Wow. Ah, good for them, man. Yeah, warms my heart. It does indeed. This next cool little exercise, guys, part of this really, really awesome sort of maintenance routine, let's call it that, is one of Hadrian's. Volume should be coming through. Yeah. So, I'll show off. He has such an unconventional technique, really. His hand never looks as stretched as it actually is, which is such a weird... It's a very odd thing to realize. I don't know if it's because he's got huge hands or my hands are particularly small, but whenever he does these kinds of these stretches, his hands never look as stretched as mine do. Or maybe it's because he does some really minute sort of position shifts, possibly, like very, very subtle, and I'm not really noticing when he moves, when he readjusts his position. But whenever I hit these stretches, my hand looks properly stretched, whereas his always looks kind of like this. Always looks kind of even. Yeah, a bit more like that, actually. I think his hand usually looks more like this, whereas mine just looks like it's literally at its absolute limits. Um, Mike says, where did I see it? Sweetwater. Yeah, I've heard of Sweetwater. Mike says, I would love to try an overwater bass. Mike, I've tried some overwater basses. They're very, very good instruments. I've heard many people say to me that they were excellent theatre basses. And I think that's why people buy them mainly, is because they're very versatile. They're not very great at anything in particular. You know, like you'd say a Rickenbacker is a rock bass. Or to a certain extent, a Music Man is a great sort of funk slap instrument. It has a very, very particular color when it comes to slapping in a funk context. Or Fenders, or P bass, this kind of stuff. Overwaters can do a little bit of everything, not to the same extent that the original instruments can do, but they're also very silent, apparently, which for pit work is obviously exactly the kind of stuff that you want. In terms of personality, I would not give them the same sort of mark as a good jazz bass or a good P bass. Or Sadowski, for instance. I'd put Sadowski... In my mind, Sadowski's maybe more typed, more sort of... has a bit more of a colour to it, but I prefer it that way. I like instruments that have a bit more of a personality, so maybe not perfect for everything, but just really good at, or better at a bunch of things. But again, I haven't tried one since I bought my 5-string. I may have already told you the story. I went into the bass gallery in Camden with an overwater that I was trying out for about a week. Bass player in the name of Richard Coughlan, fantastic UK bass player, does a lot of theatre work, was selling one of his 5-string overwaters, and it was a really, really good instrument, but I didn't feel any kind of personality to it. Or it's subjective. Maybe I didn't, and somebody else does. Clearly, they're very successful. They're very successful guitar makers, but it wasn't really for me. And like I said, I was waiting for a diagnosis on the overwater at the bass gallery, and I tried a bunch of them, and then I tried this 5-string that I've been using for more than 10 years now, and instantly fell in love with it. Immediately, I was like, that's just what I'm looking for. I don't know, the feel of the strings. It was just a fantastic bass, just a really, really good jazz bass. We know that the sort of instrument quality when it comes to Fender can be a bit hit and miss, and that's an understatement. And overwaters tend to be more consistent in their output of instruments. So, yeah. There's certainly an instrument you should try for sure. I don't know if you guys probably don't have walls in the US, or maybe just really rarely do you ever see walls in there, or alembics and stuff like that. The sort of UK makers. Yeah, I'd love to try one of them as well. Yeah. I'd love to try Dingwalls as well, for sure. Fender Aerodyne bass from Japan. Would love to tickle one. Oh, dude, that sounds good. Binding on a Fender is just so much class. Could not agree more. Mike says, hey, Philippe, when you were in London for 12 years, 15, Mike, actually. 14, my bad. Somewhere in between. Did you ever meet Ian King? I did not meet Ian King, no, but he was a household name, for sure, for theatre stuff. Absolutely. I was more in the what you would call jobbing gigs. You Americans would call them jobbing gigs. I was more into that scene, attached to a few what we call function bands in the UK. That was more my scene. I never really tried to get into theatre because I maybe a bit of a stereotype, but the idea of doing the same show twice a day for 7 days a week, 6 or 7 days a week, just made me. I just absolutely dreaded this idea. and I know it's probably the best kind of work you can find as a musician in the UK, because it's stable. You've got some more job security than in anywhere else, I suppose, in the industry. I mean, considering this is not a very secure profession to start with, a very safe way to make a living, especially in the UK, let alone the rest of Europe, really. The UK is like the last bastion of cities where it's possible, countries where it's possible to make a living as a musician. I'd never really met any pit guys apart from my good friend Richard Coughlan. Shout out to Richard Coughlan, a fantastic bass player. But yeah, he's a very, very good bass player, I hear. I think he did probably the Lion King as well, something like that. Nate says I took over Water as overseas. Yeah, dude, it's a very, very good brand. What's his name? Something Squire. I think he has a. It's not Chris Squire, but it's he has the founder and original luthier of Overwater has a name like Chris Squire. You'd think he was part of a famous band in the 70s or something like that. It's one of those names. Brooksies would know more. He knows all the history of that. He's tested dozens of Overwaters, I'm sure, and probably owns a few as well. Dingwalls would love to try one. Alembics would love to try an alembic. It's been a bit of a dream of mine as well for a long, long time. They're insanely expensive, and nobody's going to let you try them out unless you're a very, very good friend, for sure. And I've never felt a wall either, sadly. Alright, this Hadrian exercise that I really like, I'll just run you guys through it real quick, because it's cool. It's really, really cool. It's the reason I think it's very cool is because I really struggled to wrap my head around it. My fingers were just not used to it, and I love this kind of novelty. Keep you on your tippy toes. Middle finger on a C, and we're essentially going to do one finger per fret, but chromatically, which means when we change strings, we're also going to shift up a fret roughly every time. But you'll see what I mean. So we're going to start on C, play C, then B, then D flat, then D flat, C, D, D flat, then switch, do this kind of like position shift to try and get. We're staying in the same position, but we're just reaching over to an E flat, and then D, E, E flat, F, E, F sharp, F, and then G, F sharp, G sharp, G, A sharp, G sharp, B flat, A, and then shift again. This is basically the sound we're going for. That's basically all we're doing, but 4 notes per string. So if you're familiar with the sound of yourself going up the chromatic scale on one string, that's literally all we're doing, just spread over the strings and using this kind of what would you call that there? This kind of like 5 fret, this little trick that Hadrian is very fond of. So here it is at tempo, not too fast, not too slow. 2, 3, 4. Like I said, the fingering might seem a little bit weird, but if you if you kind of see the way the shape moves, i.e. upper fret every time you change strings, and remember that we're using this little trick, as long as you've got the sound, just check that you're actually going up chromatically. In principle, it's not very complicated. It's just I think it's just a really cool way to approach a chromatic scale. I like it. 2 and 3 and 4. Mike says, I love your note match game. Really helps my fretboard knowledge. That's music to my ears, Mike. Really is music to my ears. And it's only going to improve over time. It'll become just a more interesting way to practice. For now, it's really bare bones. You know, I'm just checking the most basic boxes of it. Oh, there's points. There's a leaderboard. It kind of works. But over the course of the next year or 2 years, I'll really try and refine the note detection and the way the whole user experience is only going to improve. Just bear with me, guys, bear with me. But if it does help you, it's, for me, it seems like, Nate suggested, I think a couple of months ago, he was like, why can't your game just recognize notes as well? It's like, dude, of course, so obvious. And there it is. Should give you credit, Nate. Thank you for that. There's more grey matter in several brains than there is in just one. The other really cool exercise that Adrian does is a variant of this same one. Let me remind us. Oh no, I don't have it. How does it go again?
And the second one goes like this.
Right on cue. Ah, okay. So it starts the same way. They seem very similar, but they're not, because I could play the first one and I struggled again with the second one. So first one. So basically this. The second one. So similar, but not the same. Here we go. Click on. That's not right. That's not right. I forgot it. Ah, come on. What? Yeah. start on C actually. Ooh, geez, that's another one. Okay, let's do that for a little bit because I like it. Pain. Maybe back to 60 and just a bit faster. G, D, 4, and. Oof. That's really good. That's highlighting something really, you know, the usual thing. These two fingers kind of want to move together. So that's another one that's really good for independence. So that's going to become a staple for sure. This thing. And third one.
So the number 3 is the fly of the bumblebee, which you guys probably know already. It goes like that.
It's the flight of the bumblebee, which you guys probably know already. So he starts it with his index finger. And then he does this interesting thing. Index finger, on the B, on the D string. And then pinky finger on the B flat on the A string. And then goes down chromatically on the A string. So D string on the B, on the 9th fret of the D string. B, and then B flat with a pinky finger on the A string, and then down chromatically 4 notes, back up to the B flat, reach over again to that B, down again, and then middle finger comes to grab that C, and then repeat essentially. Let's see how I can. Let's put a click on again and see how that feels. I haven't really tried this one for long. I just sort of quickly transcribed it, but I don't know if this is going to be an interesting exercise. I don't really know if I'm going to be faced with a big realization that I can't do it, in which case, yay, win. But let's give it a try. Ah. Sorry. Okay, that's the first sort of phrase. I'm going to stick with that one for now. Go up a little bit in tempo. See how we're doing. go up to 80. I'm literally just going to test it out, see how fast I can go reasonably. Okay, I think we can go to 90. Can go to 100, I think. 2, 3, 4. Nice. Still feels pretty reasonable. I don't feel like I'm rushing and I don't feel like I'm at my limit just yet. Cool. Let's try 120. I think I'm going to have to start incrementing by 5s rather than 10s at this point. Let's see how we're doing. Ah, focus. $125. 1, 2, 3. $130. Okay. Now we're talking. Jeez. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Ah. Ooh, there's a little bit of a burn that's starting to set in. Okay, so I think 130 is probably a reasonable tempo to practice at, to sort of gradually develop speed and a bit more of that sort of left-hand fluidity when it comes to these little position shifts. I think 130 is probably a good sort of challenging area for me, but I think I could push it to 140. Shall we try it? Okay, I'm probably going to fail a couple of times, but I think I could probably do a couple of cycles correctly. Ah. Yeah, that's it. This one's too much of a stretch. I can kind of get away with it, but you know, you guys can hear that it's a stretch. So 130 is a good sort of flag. It's a good place to plant this little flag that says, okay, I can do it at 130 reasonably consistently, and without sounding like I'm too stretched. Obviously, after maybe 30 seconds, I might just absolutely just die. But so anything up to 130 would be productive practice. Past that, yeah, a bit of a stretch. It's fun, but it's not really productive. Anyway, you guys, that's probably going to be the sort of 5 exercises from now on that will be part of my practice routine. So I will have this little block oops, sorry, I will have this little block at the beginning of most practice sessions. That will be for maybe 10-15 minutes, sort of back to back, and I will have this as a sort of click and just it will take me through these little phases to sort of demonstrate how I would like to use this little tool right here. This thing is going to become part of my like a condensed sort of warm-up routine that's really set, you know, at least for a couple of months time, until I get I don't know, until I stumbled upon something a bit more challenging even. But I mean, it's Hadrian Fraud we're talking about, so that's about as challenging as it gets ever. So if I manage to get to some ridiculous tempos, that means I could probably spend more time working on harmony and improvisation rather than speed and technique, because that will probably mean that I've got a really decent left and right hand at that point. We'll see. Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. In terms of this is the part where I'm going a little bit into the unknown, guys. I'll stream for a little bit more. I hope everybody's having a good time. I'm just enjoying this. I'm just in my own little bubble, my own little practice bubble right here. I wanted to go back to using iReal Pro, which is, as I've said many times, one of my favorite apps to practice with. And it's just absolutely endless the way you can use this app. I think I'm missing a few chords down there. No, we're good. We're good on this side. There we go. And the way I'd like to reintroduce something that I used to do a lot of when I first started really getting into improv, which was, we did a little bit of it on the last stream, I think, which was to gradually play more and more notes of each chord as we see them. So, you know, for instance, if I was to just play I put it on top of my face? No. Let's sort of put it right here in the corner so you guys can hopefully still follow the chords and see what I'm doing. I'll keep the piano in the background for now, but the idea is to start very simple. Just play the root notes. Come on. Pretty straightforward. You're literally just playing the letters you seeing on the screen. I'm just going to get rid of the piano because the piano and the acoustic bass will just keep the drums. And next I'm going to play all of the major thirds of the chords and hopefully not make too many mistakes. F sharp or an A. Minor. going to play all the fifths of these chords, and basically you're gradually going to play the root notes, then the third, then the fifth, then the seventh, then the ninth, then the 13th, and lo and behold, you've essentially got all of the tones, all of the chord tones at your disposal. And the faster you can do that, the faster you can think of the how different notes relate to the chord that is happening at the moment, the better you will know your way around the instrument. You'll be familiar with where each and every note is. Hopefully, I think this is the kind of practice that a lot of musicians recommend. I have done that in the past, and I have seen at least my harmony knowledge improve, and I would like to also implement that as a staple of my practice routine. So there's going to be a lot of that, probably some picking random tunes, completely random standards, and doing the same thing. Let's give it a shot. I'm going to start with the roots and the thirds. 2 and 3 and 4. Oops. Oh, my bad. A flat, D. That's the idea, at least. Maybe a little bit faster, or pick a tune that I'm actually, working on. Obviously, it would make more sense to practice that over Days of Wine and Roses, since it is. Should we just give it a try? Should we just play a little bit of the solo again? It's been a while since I've practiced it, but I think I can still sort of manage. Okay. Nice, but I feel like I was missing something in that. I think I was missing something in there. Let's play it along to the original and see if I can still sort of hold myself against, not against, but play along. Okay, maybe a bit loud. Nice. Don't think I've been able to play it this fast before. I'm super chuffed with that. Very, very happy. I'm glad. I am glad. I fancy finishing with a little something we haven't done in a little while, which was to try and jam to an AI tune. Guys, yay! Aren't we all excited? Jam AI tunes. Verify you are human. I am indeed human. Trust me, robot. If you guys have any prompt ideas, I'm absolutely open to it, but it has to be... It's going to be no vocals. The AI stuff can make some insane stuff, dude, for sure. You can still hear it's AI, but in terms of ideas, yeah, just re-record some... Just get a bunch of ideas from AI and just make it your own. You know, just a little. It can just start you off. You know, doesn't have to be a. It's never going to be a replacement for human music for now. It's never going to be for now. People don't say that, but I will. All right, so I'm waiting for prompts, guys. In the meantime, what am I going to do in the meantime? Huh? Do some note recognition? I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to noodle. Just going to noodle. It's been a while since I've noodled. But I'll noodle with a very, very slow click. 4 and oh wow. Yeah, what is that, dude? What a weird effect. Uh-oh. It's another appearance. Oh, you mean this thing behind me, right? Yeah, I think that's just the light. That's just the blue light sort of having some sort of reaction with the... Yeah, you see what I mean? It's kind of like... Spooky. Very spooky. Yeah, wow, I can do that to myself. How awesome. Thumbnail. Oh, you mean this thing? Right here. Yeah, all sorts of spooky things happening on stream today. All right, I'm gonna throw in a prompt, something kind of different. I mean, I want to say different, but I kind of fancy doing one thing. Okay. 90s acid jazz, funky, prominent bass line and drums interaction. Let's see what it comes up with. It will be an instrumental, please, because I can't stand the AI voices just yet. No, dude, that it did make my brain go a little bit. Oh yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I can see that as well. When I'm looking at it from here, it is a shadow. It's just a regular shadow. It's just the camera and the lights that having a bit of a reaction together. Oh, groove machine. Okay. All right, let's give it a shot. Ah. What? There's a RAL at the end of a funk tune. That's pretty original. That's pretty original. I didn't mind that. That was actually all right. Yeah, not super original, but let's try the second. Ooh. No, this one's a bit too disjointed. Let's try another round. Wow, another set of groove machines. Who would have thought? Not me. Not me. Close YouTube. No, keep YouTube on. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear the beautiful things that the AI is coming up with. Okay, another set of groove machines. Let's go. Oh no. No, I think I know what's going on. This one's 4 minutes long. I think the AI, I think the platform, sorry, is giving me, you know, the kind of like a little taster of the pro version every time I don't use it for like a week or two. It comes back with like, hey, remember what the pro version can do? And then it'll just, afterwards, it just gives me a little bit of that sort of drivel, AI drivel. Something like that. Yeah. Ah. Yeah, anyway, close to that. Close. Ish. It's playing with this major pentatonic a lot. Not major pentatonic. What am I talking about? Just sounds very major for some reason. Yeah, I suppose it starts on the. I suppose it starts. It is a major pentatonic over a minor chord. There we go. The more you know. Oof, brain's getting a little bit melty. I really fancy playing some tunes, but we know how that goes. Let's get some more tunes out of this AI, and then I'll take, and then I'll probably call it, guys. I'm actually pretty hungry. And I've got to practice some more keys. Oh, yeah, by the way, I didn't show you the new setup. That's my dad's keys. My dad's keyboard. Pretty cool stuff, huh? Real, like, proper weighted keys and all, which means I get to practice on an actual real keyboard, which is pretty neat. Pretty neat. All right, just one more. Come on, AI, give us another awesome. Better. Bluesy. I do want to get that riff though. That's pretty cool. Ah. That's a pretty cool riff. Very sort of run of the mill blues rocky riff, but I think it's pretty cool. I like picking up these things on the fly. Ah. Very cool. I'm going to save that one as a good one. And penultimate. Oh yeah, that was another one of the pro version, whatever. They always sound so much better, these ones. This one's 4 minutes long, so there's probably a lot of surprises in there actually. Yeah, that's the cheap version again. Clearly, this one was better. I'll keep exploring it afterwards, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm gonna go and have some food, but I'm super happy to be back. Yes, Mike, it is a full 88 keys weighted. Yeah, my dad. Yeah, my dad. He really wanted to buy himself something really nice, and he did. He did. Probably 25 years ago he bought this. Unfortunately, it's barely usable with MIDI anymore, although there's probably still a way to make it work. I mean, at the end of the day, it is MIDI. It's just the connectors are just old, really, and might not even really be compatible. I don't know, I haven't really explored it, but yeah, that's definitely something I'm going to do. Guys, this was Phil Plays Bass. Thank you very much for joining me today. It was a real pleasure to be back with you all. Very happy to see Mike, to see Nate. Very happy to see Akil. I hope Akil gets better very soon. Mike, tomorrow I've got a family do, Mike. But Sunday, 100%, I will be back on Sunday. But I might stream later, because I know you're at church, Mike. So for the sake of you being able to catch a full stream, I might stream longer. Might just do a longer stream, for sure. I mean, you're pretty familiar with the practice routine at this point, Mike, aren't you? Oh, I appreciate that, Nate. I really missed it. I really missed streaming. Thank you all for joining me today. Real pleasure to be back. I will be streaming again on Sunday. Boys, have a lovely weekend full of gigs and hopefully, I don't know, tens, Nate, I hope. or hard sixes. I don't know. I don't know what your minimum is, but yeah, I'd settle for a personality 6. That's a weird thing to say. I don't know. I was trying to be funny, but didn't quite land. Thank you very much, guys. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely Friday night, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you on Sunday. Take care, all. Doodles. Bye-bye.